All right, so meeting called to order. Is any public comment? Okay, I need approval of the February minutes, which I sent out with the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Vince.
I'll second it.
Thanks.
There we
Any
go.
discussion or corrections? Okay, then I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, finances. So I'm going to share my screen and just quickly show you the where we stand on current budget, which is in great shape. We're not going to spend all of our videographer money, which I already told Vicky and Maria. So they may, they may sweep some of that back, but I think we're more or less on track on the other stuff. So any questions about this? I think I sent this out to everybody.
Nope.
Okay, so on the 2021-22 budget, we defended to the Board of Finance on Monday. The first selectman cut a little bit of money out of our supervising producer line, so like $3,000. So I think that'll be okay. The big thing they cut was the server replacement.
Encoder.
Yeah, encoder, right. Not server. I'm thinking about work. The encoder replacement. So I realized when I saw that the reasoning was that the Board of Ed system had been approved for bonding in this year's budget. I realized that I hadn't explained myself well, that they didn't understand what I was talking about. So Laura and I worked through a better explanation for the Board of Finance meeting, which I think was better received. And I think they understood why replacing those two encoders for one is important to do. So I'm really crossing my fingers that they're going to put that back in the budget. It's like the 11.8. So the vote is next week, I want to say. Bill, does that sound right? Somehow I thought it was the end of March.
It's not next week. It's this Saturday is a budget public hearing, and then there's another one next week.
Okay. So I think we'll know what the Board of Finance does by our next meeting in April, but we're staying on top of it. And again, I think we had a tighter explanation at Monday's meeting. I felt pretty good about the response we got. And since there are some members of the Board of Finance that are a little younger, they definitely understood the idea of being available on more platforms than just cable television. So that was the bigger pitch. Katie or Laura, any comments? Or Bill, you guys were all on the call.
A lot of nodding from Michael Barker. I mean, he did ask if it was only partially funded, if that would help, but Kate then explained that the encoder that we're replacing is actually replacing two pieces, so the cost is for both of them rather than
in one unit, in one new unit. Right. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about that right now. So we'll see. Okay, any other budget related questions, either this year or next year? Okay.
Is there anything, I'm sorry, are there any things that we should be purchasing this year? I do need to I haven't put in the purchase for the wireless headsets that Jens recommended, so I can get a purchase order for that if you want.
Yep, we have, you know what, let me just double check what we have.
Okay.
So shoot me an email. So I need Dan to run me another report just to make sure we're on the same page as far as, how much are they?
Jens, weren't they
They
like
were-
15 and 18?
Yes, they were.
Okay, yeah, so that'll have to come out of capital. So just, if you could just remind me, I just want to, again, I want Dan to run me another report so that I am positive that we still have capital money.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So any other finance questions? Okay, then we'll move on to programming. Laura and Katie.
Sorry, I'm just making notes. We recorded as many sports events as we could. We've been working with Jeff Alterman, who is a Hillcrest math teacher. He does live announcing for football and basketball, and Katie and Chris broadcast a boys game and a girls basketball game. Jeff also announced a middle school basketball game, and that was well received because Katie told me that Hillcrest administration would like us to record another middle school basketball game, which is fun. Should be fun. And then again, we've been covering, gymnastics and hockey as much as we can. It's just tough now with everything happening, with COVID and everybody's lives just sort of on hold, just to get as many people as we'd like. So that's where we are with sports.
Wait, so why is that? Because we can't get videographers, or?
Yeah. I haven't been able to get in touch with Drew. I know he's a senior, so I know he's, I haven't heard back from him.
Katie, what about your brothers?
Well, my older brother moved to Massachusetts, and
Okay, so which one's that? Which
but,
one?
but we've still got Matt. And he just got a car, so now I don't have to drive him.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, and we still have Richie, good old Richie.
Richie and Marty, and now we have Chris. So
Okay. It's just a matter of getting the availability when these games are scheduled.
Right.
A lot of them are after school.
Okay.
But what else? We did a PSA with Emergency Medical Services for February Heart Health Month. We're still working with the Senior Center. They just sent us over the first of a 4-part series on China and US-China relations, which is great. And then Katie and I are going to be working with TPOD and Officer Bartosik to produce a short series. It'll probably be about 5 videos that are 15 minutes each for, it's not the official DARE curriculum because they have a specific curriculum that you have to follow, but it's prevention that's going to go to 5th grade parents, but then we can share it with the TCTV community. And then we are also able to record, they're doing a program which I'm looking forward to seeing called Hiding in Plain Sight, which is about substance abuse, vaping and stuff for parents. And we're still, thank you to Bill and to Katie, covering all the government meetings and, just looking around, reaching out, trying to get as many, adult education opportunities as possible.
So Bill, is town hall talking about like what happens when we go back, when you can meet in person? Do you think the Zoom, you're going to keep Zooming?
We haven't had any formal discussions on it. I know a lot of people have said that they enjoy the ability to watch from home. And we could do that on Facebook. The Zoom component would allow people to interact at home. So I'm not sure if we're just going to move forward with live streaming, which is easier to do than interaction.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see because there's some advantages, obviously, to being able to do it this way, and there's some disadvantages. So I'm even from a business standpoint, we're debating internally, like, how do we keep the best of this? But, we certainly miss the, being in the same room with people. Right. Especially I don't have to drive somewhere far. Okay, anything else on programming? Okay, so let's talk technical. So the Frontier encoder status, which should really be the Frontier, or should it be 2 items? The Frontier encoder status and the Studio encoder? Should it be 2 separate items?
I'm not sure. I'd leave that up to Lara.
I think
Well,
based on, Go ahead,
Those,
Laura.
I mean, they will become one, if, when they're replaced, I'm going to say when. When they're replaced, they will become one item. I don't know if we want to come up with a plan B, depending on, the financial situation. And if we did, I don't know what that would be.
Well, let's wait,
Yeah, okay.
just because typically for us, the town council doesn't change what the Board of Finance recommends. So I think if we can get them, if we can get this added back in the budget, then I'm feeling more confident the town council will just pass it through. So maybe we wait another month, and then if we don't get it through Board of Finance, then we're obviously going to have to, because town council can't put it back in if the first selectman took it out. So this is our only shot at getting it back in. So then if they don't put it back in, then we are going to have to talk about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, which, I mean, we've gotten emergency appropriations before. It's just not optimal.
No, I mean,
whatever.
I hope it doesn't get to that point, but, because I think you did make the best case possible to reinstate that.
Sounded really good, right?
Yeah.
It was a cohesive argument. Okay. Streaming capability. So that's part of this too, right? Our ability to stream the channel. I had my let me just explain what because it sort of brought some things together, which I'm sure Bill's laughing at my technical idiocy. But right now we take the Zoom meetings and we stream them to our Facebook page. We are not streaming the channel that is being broadcast. So this new encoder would give us that ability. It would also take the signal to Frontier and allow us to stream from the studio live, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we sort of have these multiple things happening, right? We still have to feed the channel to Charter and Frontier, even though the younger generation is cutting the cord. Meanwhile, we're trying to keep that platform alive while we add these other ways to either see what's happening live, like the Zoom government meetings, or the pre-produced programming that's on the channel. And, it would be nice to be able to do both, I think.
Right.
And to not be, right now, we're not live streaming the channel. People can watch specific programs on video on demand, but the only way to see what's on the channel at a given moment is to have cable TV. So we really think we need to, go to where people are and expand the platforms that they can be seen on.
I think we need to have a discussion whether streaming 24/7 is something that's really, is it of any value to the audience? Because most people, it's kind of an on-demand world now. If you want to see something, you look for your favorite TV show and then you go watch it. You don't set your VCR to record it at 8 o'clock tonight. That kind of thing.
I do.
Oh, you do? Sorry. Kate.
Because I'm old.
Oh, you're not.
I know how to work my on-demand.
All right. I want that last comment.
No, I think
struck from the minutes.
I think you're right. It's just how do we bridge? I
And-
think someday that is going to be 100% true. Now and then the other part is, we also share the bulletin board content, right? That's between programs. I don't know where the value, what the value is in that. I believe there is some, but so yeah, it is a bigger discussion. I agree.
But we are looking at, I mean, most of the service agreements you have with, say, Frontier or Spectrum or whoever your internet service provider is, they have a clear limit on how much you can put out. I mean, you can stream to your own machine from Netflix, for instance, but if you become a data center where you're actually streaming 24/7, you're violating the contract with the provider. So we have to look into how, if we want to do that, we have to look into if that's supported by whatever internet agreement we currently, or internet provider we currently have. Say, if I set up a file server in my house and I put videos on it, and 1,000 people came in to look at the videos, the service would be shut down immediately because that's not what it's built for. So it's just, I guess there's two things. We want to decide if 24/7 is something we want to do, and if we want to do it, we need to make sure that we're within our agreement to do it, because it changes everything. If you're streaming 24/7, it's a completely different thing than just having on-demand availability.
My question, Jens, because this is something that's recommended by Donnie at DNR, and I know that they work with a lot of stations similar to TCTV, these local community stations. And I know that a lot of them, like for instance, the station that Donna went to up in New Hampshire and Vermont, streams to their website. So I know that this is something that's been done, and I know that this is something that Tightrope can do, which a lot of these community stations do. So, I mean, I think it's definitely a worthwhile conversation. My presumption is that it is permissible, only because, a lot of these smaller stations are doing that.
Who would we need permission from is what I'm not totally understanding.
Whoever so let's say we're streaming from the head end at Trumbull High. So whoever owns the internet connection, not the Frontier feed or the Charter
ISP.
feed.
Okay.
The ISP, we would have to confirm with them that we could be streaming.
And we also need to confirm that it's us who is streaming. Well, it would be, because it's from the content's pulling from our server.
I guess it shouldn't. I guess it would be limited by how many people actually want to see it 24/7. So maybe it's worth checking, because in most contracts, I mean, this is a business account, obviously. In most individual plans, like the ones we all have at home, there is a limit to how much you can share, or how many people can access your internal systems. So it's just a caution that we need to verify that we can do it without any problems.
Fair point.
So we gotta look at that. Okay. Sorry, non-cable platform options.
So I haven't been able to do much on the, we're talking about the Fire Stick and the Roku and that stuff. I don't have an update.
Okay, no update.
I just, from what I'm hearing from meetings that I've been on, I know that the teaching staff is stretched pretty thin, and I know that they're kind of hesitant to take on things that sit outside the established curriculum right now. So that could be, Jens, that could be some of the reason why you haven't made much headway. I think everybody's, with COVID, everybody's just sort of in this get through the year mode.
Can we, I mean, there are a couple of young people, to use that phrase, that I know that are trying to get into computer programming as a career. And, they're local to the community, but they're way past Trumbull High. They're, some of them are in college, some of them work at Starbucks. Can we enroll people like that to help us out with some of these things?
I don't see why not. The question is, can we pay them?
I wouldn't expect to pay them.
Okay.
But that's just me, because it would be, for them, it would be a great opportunity to have, on your resume, the first job is always the hardest one to get. So for them, it would be extremely educational, and they would be able to put down that they had worked at Trumbull Community TV for, doing whatever.
Well, to say that they developed an over-the-top streaming app would be a really nice.
So I'd be fine with you. Fine,
Okay.
I mean, high school student would be great, but I think the chances that we find somebody that actually knows what they're doing a little more. if we go beyond that, is higher.
I also find every time I ask a high school student, they are so swamped with homework, where you have kids that are past high school, they're sitting there, they for some reason didn't go to college, they're now doing something in between, and they're really just waiting for an opportunity to get some documented experience working with stuff.
I like that idea. So
Okay.
I would say, go for
All right, I
that.
got a couple of kids. I won't, I'll present them at the next, their profile at the next meeting, so we can discuss that maybe.
Okay.
But I think it's a great opportunity for kids to get involved with this, because anything you learn today is worth more than a college degree, in the sense that this is current stuff. If you went to college 3 years ago, most of the stuff you learned is out of
date. Yeah.
is out of date anyway.
Okay, let's keep going. I have no
Yep.
update on the cloud storage. Getting anybody's attention in finance right now is a little hard. The Board of Ed TriCaster status, this we need to move ahead. Because I'm worried we're going to run out of time. So, Laura,
Okay,
go ahead.
sorry, I haven't had any time to look at that, unfortunately. I don't know if anyone else has.
Well, what we need to do is what we told Jeff was that we would take the lead on the purchasing side of this. So, Laura, would you be able to reach out to who's the purchasing guy? I just forgot his name. That for the town.
Kevin? Or-
Kevin, yeah.
Kevin,
Okay.
And find out exactly what do we need to do. Because if it's a $30,000 purchase, we got to get bid. So we have to draw up, what we want, which I would just take, I think, exactly what DNR or whoever we already got a quote from, put all those specs in. And then
Right.
just where do we put it? Like, where does it go after that? Here's the list of specs and the equipment we want. Then Kevin, how do we get it out so that we get the three, at least three things back so we could choose?
Right.
We got to just get the process going.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay. Because I'm just worried, I don't know if there's a specific amount of time that the
Yeah, from start to
bid
finish.
thing has to
Yeah.
be out there, and we got to get the PO done by the end of June. And you
Okay.
know how time flies, especially once it gets to April.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you're going to talk to Kevin about getting the bid out. Okay. And then Trumbull High Access made no progress on that. So again, trying to get the superintendent's attention right now with them trying to get kids back to school is pretty hard. So what is actually happening, Laura, with school, going back to school?
My son goes 4 days at the high school. Not all of the kids are back full time. I heard in a Board of Ed meeting, I think the superintendent said something like 900 kids are full distance. So that allowed parents to opt a lot of seniors just, again, some kids are doing really well with that. Some kids are really struggling with that, but the ones who are doing well, and a lot of seniors, they just, if they don't have to get up at 6 a.m, I don't blame them. I don't like getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get my kids out the door. So that's opened up a lot of room, but that's the issue. Like the middle schools go back the week of March 29th.
It's just so hard on the teachers to have to hybrid.
It is. And I know that there are instances where like Jack is one of 2 or 3 kids in a room with everybody else, on the whiteboard in a Zoom meeting. I know that they're pushing to get the kids back. I don't know if the resistance is I don't think the resistance is from the teachers, not based on the teachers that I've, my kids' teachers that I've spoken to.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So
I don't know if it's just, I think
it's
it's
so
just
hard.
I think a lot of it is like lunch and how to keep the kids distanced in the hallways,
Yeah.
because it's like Times Square in the hallways. I think they've been doing a good job as far as, one way and all that, but I I don't know. As far as access, I mean, I know that sports are happening on weekends, activities are happening. You know, my son is in the high school every Saturday, sometimes till 9 o'clock at night. So, you know, when they're in, I can get in.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know. Beyond that, I really,
Okay, so that helps. You know what? I just realized that we skipped over local election programming when we were talking about programming. So,
yes, sorry, my bad.
So I don't know that I'm looking at the minutes from last meeting. We wanted to work with the AP coding class to create an app for volunteers to get the election results at the polling site and then go straight to on air. We might need 2 volunteers per site for data accuracy, and then work with We the People team to MC and talk to Nick Dodona about student volunteers. So
Right.
I don't know that we're going to actually be able to do the volunteer part until September, right? Because it's going to be the kids that are in school in the fall.
And a lot of the kids that he's got now are going to graduate.
Okay, so we'll just say, you know,
It's still pending, but if it happens, it has to happen right from when school starts, because it'll take a couple of months to
Yep.
get done.
okay. All right, then jumping down to marketing and PR, Jim did not have any update unless we have something else going on. Okay, then,
Kate, did you want to share any of the Facebook live stats under that?
yeah, let me.
I don't know if anyone else on the commission has seen that.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Hold on. Oh, wait, I need it.
Are you talking about how many people view the different
And click through.
streams? Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so I did a PDF, so let me do the, here, I'll do the, okay, so this is fourth quarter 2020 and first quarter 2021. So reach is how many people could, you know, had it pop up on their Facebook pages, and then clicks are people that actually clicked on it and watched it at some frequency. So
And
I
those,
use,
like, I'm sorry.
go ahead, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, those numbers in italics are because for whatever reason in the clicks, once you get over 1,000, Facebook doesn't drill down on an individual number. They will with the reach, but they don't with the clicks. So it's somewhere, like for instance, that Board of Ed meeting that says 1,600 is somewhere between 1,551 people and 1,649.
Got it. They're good numbers, though.
They are good numbers.
Yeah.
And we use this in the Board of Finance meeting to say, you know, now we can't quantify how long anybody watched, but, you know, this is, the clicks is far more people than could ever fit anywhere to actually go to a meeting. So we
Right.
think it demonstrates, you know, some level of interest, even if the you know, the people that clicked only, you know, only I don't know, 20% of them, or 10% of them stuck around and watched the meeting. That's still more than often come to any of these meetings.
Oh, it's
So,
way more. Way
yeah.
more.
Yes, so we really feel like it shows that there is interest in these meetings. And then if we go by clicks, you know, it's sort of the ones you would expect that had the most interest. But again, I think it shows that
I
more
don't think you
people are
hit the tab.
engaged.
No,
Okay.
it didn't.
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
There you go.
Okay. You know, it shows that there's interest in the content of these meetings, and that, you know, we want to keep trying to meet people where they are. I mean, that was the big theme.
Mhm.
So any more questions on that? Okay. Then the Trumbull High connection. Where did I- Okay, so we're trying to connect with Kaminsky, the AP coding teacher, and then Nick Dodona, the video production teacher, but we haven't had any more.
Right. There's been no further interaction. They did. God, I forget his name. The first gentleman you just
Scott
mentioned.
Kaminsky.
Yeah, he did get back to me. We've had some exchanges, but nothing has come of it yet.
Okay.
And Nick Dodona did come in, and he's hesitant to mention anything about, volunteering with the station because so many of his students are seniors.
Okay,
No.
And he wants, yeah, he does want to start up doing the video announcements, and he thinks that will help get, grow some more interest in helping out. I also found, because I talked to a friend of mine whose son wants to, like go into sports journalism and videography, but I'm finding that a lot of kids, and Jens, I don't know if you've come across this, they don't want to be a videographer for an event. They want to edit it, they want to package it. And,
Right.
and I get that, but at the same time, it's, I don't
because
know.
that's not sexy.
Exactly. It's not sexy. And, like, unless it's for a class and it's a project, I'm not comfortable handing over the footage to a kid and expecting them to hand back, a finished piece in a
No,
timely manner.
no, you can't.
It's,
You would need some supervision, that's for sure.
right. And Katie and I, again, it's like every week, we're used to, we know how quickly we have to get stuff out. And I just know from my own kids that if they recorded something, it would just sit on a card for weeks.
Right.
Well, I think we keep trying to be in the conversation, and
Absolutely.
we look for the opportunities that, maybe only one kid at a time that maybe
Right.
expresses interest in the process from end to end, in a way that we can supervise. Right. Okay. Let's see. Government relations, Jim had no report and nothing on industry relations unless anybody's had any interface with Charter or Frontier. Okay, any miscellaneous items?
Katie found a really cool desk in the closet in the studio that we're going to drag out over the summer and see if we can refashion an anchor desk for the election.
Nice, yes,
So-
we didn't get that money.
Exactly. We're going to try it. We're going to do everything we can to do what we can. We were like, maybe we could get the ag school to like donate some plants we could put in front of
Yeah,
it. Pretty.
they would totally do that.
Yeah.
Is
So we're
Dr.
gonna-
Bob still in charge over there? Bob Maglia?
Last I heard, but I don't know. I'd have to ask. I have a couple friends whose kids are there.
We'll find out, because I would, I had worked with him for, my kids were there while he was there, so I could definitely ask him. I'm sure they could give us. We just got to figure out how to keep them alive in the studio.
Yeah. That's the thing, because I don't, this jade plant is literally the only plant in my house, and it's only as big as it is. This was a little seedling that was a gift when John and I got married from my mom, and that's like the most low
looks
maintenance
good, though.
plant on the
But you know
planet.
what? But you know what they will do is, it's like ACE Foundation, some other things I work on. We would get flowers or plants from them for our award ceremony. For one day.
Right.
We wheel them over and then wheel them back. They will definitely do that. So if we, just for debates or election night, we don't have to keep them. We just take them back and forth.
And it would be it was so easy for us to put up a little slide at the ends, like, flowers, plants,
Yeah.
whatever, greenery courtesy of, and give them a little shout out. But yeah, no, I know that Jeff over the summer wanted to clean out that closet because there's just so much, like there's
Yeah, make sure
cabinets
you
full
get
of-
first dibs or whatever's in there.
it's like there's cabinets full of VCRs. I don't know that we want first dibs on that, but
No, yeah.
but there's a lot of, once a lot of that gets out of there, like there's tube televisions and all kinds of stuff that just
It's like a
needs to
big
go.
house, yeah.
Artifacts from another era.
It's basically, yeah, it's the museum of the Museum of Communications in there.
All right, so let's keep the plant thing, because I know we can. They would. I'm sure they would be happy to.
It would be so, I mean, even if we can't get new furniture, it would be nice to do
Just
something to
spruce
make
it up, yeah,
yeah.
a little bit. Okay, good. All right, anybody have anything else to talk about?
I just want to bring up the live commentary for the middle school basketball games was excellent. I'm not sure how well the auto text closed captioning worked, And that's not to say it didn't work. I just didn't check it. But having someone commenting was just brilliant.
And what's that guy's name, Laura?
Jeff Alterman. He did the football scrimmages too. He does a great job, and it's fun to work those events with him when they're there, because it gives you a little more something, it just makes watching it more interesting.
Well, and you
I
feel
think.
like it's a real program.
And I'm sure the parents love it too, because it makes it more like official.
Yeah. And their
Right.
kids' names get said, and we all
Yeah.
like that. Yep. Cool. All right, good. We got anything else? Our next meeting is April 22nd. Is there an April vacation this year? What's happening?
Yeah, there's April break is, let's see, Good Friday is April 2nd.
Yeah.
And then I think the week of April 12th is April break.
Okay. I thought we tried to work around that, so I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else?
No,
Nope.
All right, good. So you get 10 minutes of your life back. Or
Great.
longer, depending upon
great.
how
Yeah,
much you have
hopefully
blocked
longer.
out. Right.
Hopefully longer.
Yeah.
All right, great. So I see 8:22. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Thank you,
Sure, so
Vince.
moved.
All right. Great. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you all.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Same
Take care,
here.
everybody.
All right. See
Bye.
you later.
Hi, everybody.